what it was. Y'all know who it is. And y'all tuned in with Priceless Knowledge of Self. And this right here, this ain't nothing but some cosmic insight, motherfucker. And I hope you got your seatbelt strapped in, because I'm finna take you straight to the top. That's because this right here, this a little something about those people that have Mercury in the 10th house of their natal chart. Yeah. And we going there because I got Mercury in the 10th house from my natal chart. And before anybody says anything or asks any questions, yes, this is a remake of a video that's already been done. But I do what I want to do. And I felt like this time I could do it much better. So here we are. And for those of y'all that don't know my style, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to bring y'all a little information about Mercury. I'm going to give y'all a little bit about the energy that comes along with it and how it might affect you. Then after that, I'm going to give y'all a quick breakdown of what the 10th house of the astrological chart is actually all about. And then after that, we're going to bring it to a climax, a crescendo, which is actually my forte. So without wasting any more time, let's get it cracking. So Mercury, much like the winged messenger of the gods, it comes into our chart and commands us to speak. And that's because it rules over communication, intellect, intelligence, logic, reasoning, our attitude, as well as our ability to create and express our thought processes. And when something's referred to as having a mercurial nature, what comes to mind for me is restlessness and motion, man. And, Mercury, things happen fast here, man. And that makes it about quick wit, quick thinking, possibilities, opinions, and the ability to rationalize shit. That's real, man. It can be both good and bad, but either way it goes, it's going to be energizing, man. And this planet prompts us to move on from one thing to the next and find answers on both a physical and a psychological level, man. It's dexterous and perceptive energy that also rules over our short trips, our siblings, and really all transportation in general, man. Speaking, writing, books, online communications, and learning, they all come under Mercury's domain. And also understand that Mercury's never more than 28 degrees away from the sun. And it only takes 88 days to go through its whole orbit, man. And it rules over Gemini and Virgo, as well as the 3rd and the 6th house of the zodiac chart. And it's neither feminine or masculine energetically. It kind of assumes the gender of whatever sign that it's in. And speaking of the sign, when we're talking about our Mercury sign, that's going to point to our basic attitude, our mental habits, and our communication style. Whereas the house placement is going to show what area of life that plays out in the most. Okay. So just understand that. So when we talk about the 10th house of the astrological chart, this is one of the angular houses of the 1st, the 4th, the 7th, and the 10th. It's ruled by Capricorn and the planet Saturn. And, this is the highest and most visible point in the chart. So it's often referred to as the house of social status, man. It's the most visible place that there is, okay? You can't hide what's in the 10th, man. Everybody sees it, man. It's about our career. It's about social grouping and our energy in society as a whole. And with the 10th, think status, the authority that it conveys, and consequently the role that we take in our community. Okay. And it kind of speaks to any promotions that we may receive, any fame that we may acquire, and the type of businesses that we might partake in, man. With respect to achievement, the 10th house focuses on how we see ourselves and how society perceives us as well, or how the public perceives us. That's probably better, man. And we really focus on manifesting ourselves here in this house. And vocation, of course, is going to come into play when we do that. And that's all about what role will we choose, and, what is our best fit? How much do we really want to achieve? Career, professional goals, ambition, and motivation, they all come into play here in the 10th, man. And in a more practical context, our employers and the government are also present here. And that's because it revolves around, us ruling over others and those that have the authority to rule over us. Okay. And the 10th house can also be all about ego gratification. That's really what it means to me, man. And the question of how will we manage the gifts that we be given and the status that comes along with the gifts and talents that we've been blessed with, man. And just remember, when we're thinking about the 10th, man, not all of us are cut out for success on the grand scale. And success that's not a definition that is the same for everybody. Your vision of success is not the same as mine. And the 10th ain't necessarily all about success. Once you realize that, it's about status, legacy. How are you going to be remembered when you gone? Okay. So, when we're talking about putting Mercury in the 10th house, we're going to talk about a lot with this one, to be honest, man. Yeah, we're going to talk about high intellect, which I obviously possess. We're going to talk about speaking with authority, which that's another one of my fortes, man. We're even going to talk about attitude and being a jack of all trades while we blatantly just ignore all the conceitedness that's going on. And that's because, I'm telling you, as a person with Mercury in the 10th house, this is shit that all comes along with it. It really is, man. But really what it does more than anything else that a lot of people don't talk about is it makes you especially adept at keeping your cool in the jam in order to solve tough problems during critical times. Like, you're able to stay stiff when a lot of motherfuckers will fold up, man. You're able to process and do things and keep the motherfucking train going when a lot of people would freeze up and be stuck on the tracks. Which, that's a beautiful thing, man. That's a beautiful thing, man. Nah, this one right here gives you a certain stiffness that don't get enough respect. I'm telling you now, man. Which, in itself is something that's going to play a key factor at some point in your life. Because I know on the day my mom died, when I was in prison, there were certain times where I had to keep my head and keep my cool in a lot of situations where a lot of people, they wouldn't have been able to do so. This helps you understand that it's chess. It ain't checkers, man. It helps you understand that, man. And, this also says that, you think about your career and your respect and your legacy a lot. And that's due to the fact that your mind and your communication and your skills and your intellect, they're usually a cut above. And you know this. They're usually a cut above, man. And you probably put a lot of work in to get it that way, man. And with this, because of your mind and your intellect, your communication skills and your attitude, your charisma, chances are with Mercury here, you'll probably come into the public eye with this one, man. And best believe, if you do so, you're well suited for it, man. Because you have this quick alert mind. We have this quick alert mind. We really do that, that just don't quit, man. And with Mercury in the 10th, you got the gift of gab, man. And, if you don't want to take my word for it, because I have this placement, hey, man, you can look at Barack Obama. You can look at Martin Luther King. You can look at James Dean. You can look at Robin Williams. You can look at Albert Einstein and even Lady Gaga. Okay. These are all high-minded individuals with Mercury in the 10th house, man. Which is exactly what you get here. This is a high-minded individual. This is your mind, your communication, your intellect in the highest point of the chart. Not only does everybody see it, hey, you got the skills to pay the bills. You've been imbued with the skills to pay the bills. Now, what you do with it is what you do with it, man. We should all know that. I tell you that, try to constantly hammer it into your world, man, all the time, man. I try to, man. And, this one says that the public, the whole world, knows that you're the authority at something. But what is it? Here I am. to be honest, you really got to look at the sign to really get a full assessment, as well as the aspects too. But, you know, one thing that I see with this one that's for sure is that, you know, you're on point, man. And everybody else knows it too. You got to stay that way, man. You got to stay that way. And because of that alone, chances are you're headed to the top, and fast, like hot mercury in a thermometer stuck up the world's feverish ass. You know, you think it's a game? It ain't. No. What this really boils down to is a motherfucker who thinks like a boss, man. And likewise is extremely talented when it comes to the transmission of information in all kinds of different forms and manners. That's the word I'm looking for, man. But you want to talk about gifted public speakers? Oh yeah. You want to talk about voracious orators? You want to talk about somebody that makes everybody else shut the fuck up when they start speaking? Then look no further than Mercury. Then look no further than Mercury in the 10th house, man. And here I am right here. Here I go. Real talk, man. I'm a living testament to how this plays out. You see it almost on a daily basis with me if y'all follow my channel, man. You know, I implore you to take heed with this, man, because the 10th house also takes a practical approach. So, you know, with me having my Mercury here, man, I understand that knowledge is only power if it's applicable, man. So, me, when I'm up here spitting this shit, giving y'all this game I'm giving y'all, man, I'm going to give you some news you can use every time. That's what it's about, man. And on that same note, let me keep it real and say that, you know, if you're in a lower vibration or if Mercury's receiving a lot of challenging aspects with this one, man, finding a career ain't going to be real simple or easy, man, at all, man. There's going to be a lot of bouncing around and instability. And there might even be the possibility of having multiple jobs, but no career. But with that, only you can do something about that. Like I said, man, because you have all the tools to do so. Mercury is giving you the skills to pay the bills. So if you can just employ some chill and some discernment, hey, you can make something happen. Real spit, man. You got to use that high functioning brain to carefully analyze situations and make sound decisions regardless of any pressure coming in from the outside. As long as you can continue doing that, ain't nothing fooling with you on any level. Ever. Look, man, Mercury always wants to connect. And when it's in the 10th house, it's about connecting with the public. That's no bullshit, man. So it just bestows you with an innate talent for making other people understand your point of view while also being about what you say in public, which is, you know, something to stick to. This is a placement where you speak with supreme confidence. And, you know, if you got Mercury in the 10th house, people kind of trust you to know your shit. And, you know, you really got to make sure that you're not getting caught up in your own status too much or, you know, your own public image and, you know, be stressing about other people's opinion of you with this one. That's something you got to understand, man. And, hey, this right here, depending on the sign and other things going on, it could probably make you an extremely charming person. But you got to remember that, hey, charm is cool, but you got to deliver the goods. You have to deliver the goods. And if you ain't doing that, it's just words. You got to pay the cost to be the boss. Remember that. Remember that, man. You know. And, you know, hey, Mercury right here, if you want to sum it up, man, it makes you an asset. It makes you an expert communicator with a real knack for tailoring your message to everybody's individual needs. Okay. And with the 10th house Mercury, you don't just communicate. No, you communicate effectively. Okay. You don't just, talk out your ass. You make statements. Okay. But, you got to be careful that, you don't get so motherfucking pompous that people stop caring to hear what the fuck you have to say. But who am I but a motherfucker with this placement? Okay? And either way it goes, just because you built like that, you don't have to build like that. And what I mean by that is that we all have all this energy available to us. What you do with it is what you do with it. And even beyond that, it's not about what you do, it's about how you do it. Hey, that's some priceless knowledge in itself. And there's been some priceless knowledge yourself. Hey, if you made it this far, you should have hit that like button, man. If you ain't hit the like button, you should be hitting the dislike button. If you're interested in the astrological if you're interested in any astrological readings whatsoever, you can either hit me up in the comments below, or you can email me at mr.turner1300@gmail.com. Okay? Hey, I appreciate all the love and support, man. I'm gonna keep it cracking like a bag of pork skins and keep it trill like nobody else will. Y'all keep it cool.